So it's a permanent protection for areas that are going to get rock chips. Hoods, fenders, your spoiler underneath, the kits that we also offer, and it's that part you could say yay or nay on that, but we are doing right now at Midwest, when they order one, it's an option, and we do it at the plant, is we're doing partial roofs also. So we're getting some feedback, and we see at other OEMs where, like, I want to say branches, or they're getting some roof rub on there where they're getting their paint chips. That's not, it's not required. What we would do after, since you're owners and you own your vehicle, we would create a kit for you. I mean, we have it standard, but if you said we want just a full hood, we want we don't want the roof, or we want the full package that you're doing right now for Midwest, we could do that. So what we do, these kits are digitized, and then we lay them out on a plotter, and it is, and I wish we had, I wish I would have connected with Jackie, because she's gonna get it done, and we had one that we could go out and look at here, but unfortunately we don't have one. But basically, and I've got all my materials are back there, but we offer 3 different types of films. Our most common, and I'm gonna grab it real quick, is a standard. So the standard gloss is 99% of what we put on not only Class Bs. And just to give you a little background, what Diamond Shield, 95% of our business is it's obviously in the motorized, but we're primarily, and we're branching into the B and the Sprinters segment, but we're primarily on Newmar, Integra, Class A's, the motorhomes. We're on Thor, Berkshire, Tiffin. Those are all standard Diamond Shield, all of those. But as far as on the B segment, we are on, and it's public knowledge, we're on every Thor, Sprinter, every Thor. These vans, and they'd acknowledge it too, are much nicer. Okay, I just putting it in perspective. I all day, every day, I'm out in plant, so I see everything. I'm all the way from Jayco to Newmar, so you get a chance to see what's out there. I'm at Midwest. I have a good relationship with Jake. I don't know if you met Jake Stevenson. He's a national sales manager for Midwest. So that's a little background on our company I just want to start with. But this clear gloss, and it's got actually a backer on it, but it's a transparent film right here. That is really made up of 3 layers, but once we get that applied, so we squeeze like a water solution, they get it applied, you get it heated down a little bit, you get all the excess water out like a squeegee, and then that adhesive starts, and then it's how it is. So the other 2 films, and again, this is satin matte. So what we're seeing, and then this is a black gloss. So what we're seeing in other segments of the industry is they're going with, they're starting to use this matte paint on the front. So they've asked us to come up with a solution to cover that, because they still want that covered. So we launched these 2. But I would recommend to keep the look of your, of your coach. I'm looking at a black Mercedes. I would say standard Sprinter, standard gloss is what we recommend on that. So these are just out there. We also have some graphic packages that we do. If you've seen vans, you'll see some Sprinters where maybe the hood, so grabbed it. The rest of the coach is one color, and then they'll do like their hood. And this is not PPF. What we could do is you can kind of, hard to see from there, but like see how the hood is black. So it's just something extra, where they want to make it unique, or the owner wants it to look different. Here's one that shows a little better. So that's a true graphic wrap. And then what we would do with that wrap is then we would put our PPF over it. So now you've got basically a look, and then you have it. This one doesn't show as well, just kind of an off-road. Yeah, this one, and then you would have the protection of the gloss over the wrap. So I just wanted to make you aware that that's an option also. So how does it work? Yes.
Can you pass that around?
Sure. Yeah, I'm going to pass everything around if you don't mind. I'll start back with you. So how does the process work at the owner level? So, and I don't have my PowerPoint here, but in the PowerPoint, I have diagrams of the entire United States and Canada. And we've got red dots throughout the country and into Canada. And those are all certified Diamond Shield installers. So we deal, I just named quite a few OEMs that are our customers. So as you can imagine, they're all over the country and into Canada. So sometimes they hit a mailbox. Sometimes, they need their film replaced. They have damage. Sometimes our film might fail. I mean, it could, we've got a warranty. So we have to have people, certified installers, that can remove and replace the films. So with that being said, on the retail side, those same installers are available to go and put on a kit for new customers. So we call it the retail side. So that's how it would look for you, unless you're in Elkhart. We have a service center here, and I just got good information. We would need 3.5 to 4 hours to do your kit. These kits are pretty involved. They're not. We do some that are really small, but the kits for these sprinters, because of the spoiler, they're all separate pieces. You wouldn't know it because we seam it up so well, but they're all separate pieces. So it does take some time. So the other, if you didn't schedule one here, and I've got a lot of cards that I'll give you before I leave, that we would get you scheduled and come to you. So we would come to your city. You're in Missouri, you're in Illinois, or Florida, and what we do is we coordinate with the body shop or either the dealer or the paint shop in your area. We have relationships with them, and we would just have you drop it off. We can't do it outside, unfortunately, as you can imagine. The wind, the dust, the debris. It's got to be in an area that is inside and climate controlled, to get that installed correctly. So that's kind of how it works. And I spoke to one gentleman earlier. So you've got a 10-year warranty, limited lifetime. So let's say that you're driving down the road and you do get a rock that penetrates the film, okay, within reason, and chips your paint. So what we would do, because it's under warranty, is we would remove the film, and then we would credit you towards your paint, the cost of the kit, put on a new kit, and the labor and the new kit for no charge. So that's what our warranty does. Our warranty covers the paint, and it covers a new kit and the actual labor to install that kit. So the paint we charge, again, we can't exceed what the cost of. And if it's one chip, it's not going to be more than the cost of the kit, typically. To have a body shop, they'll buff it, prime it, and touch that up.
What's the cost of the
The kit. Good question. So I misspoke to one gentleman, and I do apologize. So we are looking, I've got actual pricing, and I want to give you the exact amount that screenshot it here. Again, I'm very familiar with OEM pricing, so I quickly shot out a number, but it is different, and that was my fault. So the rally price for a partial front end, $1,095. If you did a full front end, that means your entire hood, and it's very, very hard to see, but these are all the parts and pieces that would go on. So as you can imagine, the reason for the pricing is this. These are all separate cuts. It's the square footage of the film and then the time that it takes. And then unfortunately for owners, and then we have to pay someone to, sometimes they'll go and stay the night there. We have to build that into the cost. So that is $1,500 for the full. So if you could keep in your mind, we're talking either $1,000 or $1,500 to have someone come to you, put on a 10-year limited lifetime warranty, and I had a question earlier. So let's say you do have some paint chips or you have damage. We want to get those corrected first, and then we would cover it. So we we would work with you on that and find your dealer or body shop that could handle that repair. We wouldn't want to cover chips. Yeah, that's not going to look good. So the other part, and there's different. I know some of you live in different climates. I heard like out east in the snow. We've got great feedback on defeating like rock salt. You can get rock salt. You get in the warmer climates the bugs. It's very resistant against obviously road debris. If any of you travel towards Canada in that direction, we get a lot of, I guess, the roads. I've been out that way quite often, but I haven't driven and flown. And the roads are notorious for rock chips. They use a different type of slag or something on the roads. So those are all other protection, and there's a UV element in our films, so to prevent fading. We've been really fortunate. The key to the film, though, and I will jump right to this, is it's like anything else, keeping the bugs off of it, wiping it down when you get to where you're going. So bugs, especially with the acidity, and we get this a lot in Class A's, we will get owners that will just travel and they won't wipe down their units. And what will happen with the front end of the bugs, especially the love bugs in Florida, is the acidity will etch into the film, and it will etch into paint also. So bugs are really, really the nemesis for RVs and even Class Bs. So you're fortunate with your hoods where there are so many wash waxes right now, waterless, that you just spray. And I mean, as a Maxell, there's you don't need to get a bucket and everything out. Literally, if you keep a wash wax in your coach and a towel, avoid using. We always avoid using the public truck stop. Because those, you don't know what's in there, and there's just like there are some no's for this film also. Rain-X is no. Using like any aggressive like a Dawn is no. Anything that will eat away at polyurethane film, we just go with soft soaps or some of these wash waxes. But the aggressive, what's the white little cleaners?
Mr. Paint erasers.
Yeah, I love those, but not on film. So you would avoid that. We've had, over the years, it's a different area, but the Class A's are using like dryer sheets to get the bugs off, and no, we don't advise that. Ceramic coating over it is fine, but it's not necessary. If you're looking to get your whole van ceramic coated, you could just save yourself a little money and say, I've got film there, You know, you just want to do the sides. But, you know, someone asked earlier about ceramic coating. You know, it's an exterior coverage. It serves some purpose, but it's not a film. It's not going to protect you from rock chips. And if anyone tells you that, they're wrong, because it's pretty obvious. It's a liquid-based material. They say it hardens, but not to the degree of a 6 mil film that we would put on there. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you mentioned 1,500 for the full wrap.
Yep.
Is that regardless if it's a Sprinter, a Ram, or a Ford?
Good question. So we would have to determine whatever. So when we have kits for all three, I will tell you if it's on that Ford, which is called the Transit, and then the Sprinter, they're different kits. So you'd be in the ballpark. The most expensive kit that we have is a Sprinter. I'm almost positive on that. Again, I'm speaking to the retail side, and I deal directly with OEMs. So I take that formula, and I know that when we do those three models, that the Sprinter is the most. And again, it all comes down to film. How much film, how many cuts, and then how much time does it take to put on. So, yes, sir.
Does the full kit include above the windshield?
Yeah, they've got that on here. Hang on. You've got, that's a full kit. No, that is a hood. It's the full hood. It's not above. We can work with you on that. That process, that is a little, the ones that we're doing at Midwest are including that. All right, that's just what they wanted. But we need a scaffold to do that. So as you can imagine, getting up that high, and it's almost a two-man job to get. So if you look at that Sprinter right out there, we're doing from the window to the radius. So basically, where that antenna is, we would obviously trim. We would have that kitted up so it fits right over. We wouldn't have to take that antenna off, and then we would snug it up there, and then it would go right to the radius.
Does it include the windshield?
No, we do not do windshields. And we do, now what we do at the OEM level is temporary windshield film that a lot of the Class A RV folks use, but we don't do, we don't have a solution for that. If we did, I'd love it. If we did try to do something, I'll be very honest with you, we'd probably be out of business, because the warranty on windows, on windshields, you know, for any, especially these Class A's, is astronomical. You know, I think it's very expensive to get there. I know it is. Yes?
So if you sign up, how long does it take you to do it?
The actual install will be, I spoke with Yuri, our operations manager, just the other day when Jackie inquired. We would need 3.5 to 4 hours. Yeah.
Okay.
And then all the scheduling, I've got cards there, would be handled through Rochester, New York, and that's where our corporate office is. But 90% of our business, or what we do, is in Elkhart. So there's no RV manufacturers in Rochester, New York, but that's where our owner and our offices are, and they do a lot of cuts. So
So you do it in Elkhart?
we do. I mean, what you would have to do, we have a waiting area. Either someone follow you over, you would schedule it, drop off your coach. We would do it. Yes, we have a double bay service center. It's in Elkhart. About 20, but you don't have to. But it's about 20 minutes.
Oh, so they have it in Florida?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have technicians that are certified that will come to you throughout the country.
Gotcha.
Yep. You're welcome. Yes.
And you say it lasts 10 years and it's 6 mil?
6 mil.
Okay, over time, does it get spider cracks?
Well, good question. It can. And what happens in that situation, that means it hasn't been washed or it hasn't been ever waxed. And it's I don't want to say dries out, but if it's not maintained, you know, we'll see some that are 8 years old that I'm, you know, being transparent.
And how hard is it to remove it then?
Removing film is very, very difficult. Yeah, and it does take time. And needs to be done by, you can look at YouTube videos, but it needs to be done by, it's not just like that comes off in pieces. It is. And it's, you know, there's the upside to it and then there is the downside. So it's not like you just taking cellophane and, you know, so those are good questions. You know, I'm always transparent but I will tell you if, it's when I keep looking out there at that Sprinter, piece of cake to spray that down and keep it clean. The folks that have these A's, Class A's, they've got a literally 90-degree angle that they're driving down the road. So you can imagine the rocks and you can imagine the bugs, and it is more film. It's a bigger area for them, and they've got it to keep it clean, you know. But we've really encouraged them, and we've got. I'll just not a plug for them, but they really do a good job. Newmar, and I do their rally. That last one was in Missouri, and I think they had 800 coaches. So, anyways, they get a lot of coaches that they take care of it, and very, very complimentary on that. And then we will have a couple that, well, I didn't know you need to get the bugs off, or I didn't know, and you know, so that's why we're working really hard to communicate with you know, when it gets out to the owners that you got to get the bugs off. You really do to preserve. Any other questions?
I got one.
Yes.
You say 6 mil is standard, what's your upgrades?
That is the actual. So when we partnered up with Midwest, and this is the quality of your coach, of how Midwest operates. Midwest is up here. They do a great job. And I work with everyone. They said, we want your absolute best film. And this is our best. It's called Nano. We also have what's called Peak, which is a 7-year warranty. And then we have Standard, and that's a 5-year warranty.
I had mine done in Arizona, and they told me they put 10 mil on it.
10? I've never heard of a 10 mil. That's pretty.
8 mil was their standard, and
Yeah.
they recommended 10 mil.
Wow. Yeah.
And it was the same cost.
Yeah. 10 mil is pretty. Yeah, there's a lot of, and just because there's more mils doesn't mean it's a better film. There's a lot more baked into what our film is and the warranty side of it. There's a lot of local guys, if you will, that are putting on wraps and our films and then, but here's what they can't do is if you get it put on there and you're wanting to move or you're in a different location, they don't have anyone else who can service it. It's, you know, if you do it in Arizona, you gotta stay in Arizona, you gotta get everything done in Arizona. So they don't have that flexibility that we do. And then to cover the warranty, I don't think they sometimes stand behind it like we do.
How long is the warranty?
Pardon?
How long is the warranty?
10 years. 10 years, and we say limited lifetime. I mean, you know, so we'll, yeah.
So if you don't wash your bugs off, that ruins your warranty.
No, I mean, what would happen is, so let's say you filed a claim and you sent it in to a Rochester office and you've got bugs that are just embedded in there. It's like,
Yeah.
now if you send in a claim and there's a true penetration of the film and a rock chip to the paint, now it's covered.
Right.
Yeah, so that's kind of how that works. So yeah, it's kind of like, it's a wear and tear product. It's designed to prevent rock chips, keep your coach looking sharp up front, especially, and again, like I said, with the sun and so forth, the UV protection in there. So no, we've gotten great feedback. You know, I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to me today, and I've got materials back there that I brought enough for everyone. They're just a trifold, and I'm going to start passing those out, and then I will let you do your thing, Jackie. That's okay.
Thanks, Steve. Yeah. We'll start there. I'll start. Warranty transferable for 10 years.
Oh, good question. The gentleman asked about the warranty being transferable, and it is not. It is not, unfortunately, because we don't know. I'm just going to set this tape on it, and then it's not. So very good question. We file the auto industry's warranty and it's not transferable. Say, yep, me and it's grab one. So the business cards are not my personal card. I'd be more if you would like to stay in touch with me personally. I've got my personal cards, but that is the process to get started. It's our service center, and I always tell owners this, and I've been there for 5 years. I can promise you, when you call, you're going to talk to a person. That's the type of, we're a small company. So it's not going to be, go to the website or do this. You're going to talk to a person. So I know I get frustrated when I deal with, AT&T, and I'm like, customer service. I just want to talk to somebody, quit trying to use the automated stuff. So you will talk to a person. We will get you scheduled, what's convenient for you. We can't do it outside. We'll go. We've done it at pole barns, or if you store your, if you have a nice inside. I heard someone say you store it inside, and you have an area that's with lighting that's pretty good. We can do it there. We do that quite often. We'll go to, especially some guys will have their Class A's, the extended garage height and the door. Yeah, we've done quite a few. Where it does get tricky and on the roof is, like I said, that one's gonna require the scaffold. So that's not, we're not gonna lay a ladder or anything up there. So we actually, Midwest has for us these nice scaffolds, and we have scaffolds at our Diamond Shield Service Center here in Elkhart. So everything would start with the call. We'd be more than happy to do it. I will predict it's going to take a little time, but I'm going to predict that going forward, they haven't given us this commitment, but I think Midwest is going to look at making this just standard. Like the majority, they're just going to have it on there, and because right now, here's what's happening, and Jake would say the same thing. They're going to the dealers. The dealers are finding a local guy to put on PPF, and the dealer's making some money on it, and the local guy's making money on it, and who's not making any money is Midwest. So it's not going to take long for Midwest. It's like any of these options to figure out, maybe we should just do it. We're going to provide great protection. We're going to help our customers keep their front ends from chipping. And if you're going off road, things like that, we're getting a big take on with the off-road segments on the B vans. Well, there's Thor again. They also do I heard you discussing tires, and they love that paint protection on there. Grand Design is another one that just onboarded us with their B van. So yeah, it's it's a wear and tear, and if it works for you or in your situation, we'd be happy to do it. And before I scoot out or anything else, yes, sir.
Yeah. One quick question.
Sure.
How well does it hold up to the desert Southwest heat?
Good question. Great question. Tremendously well, and we've had zero issues. It has been in Alaska, and we have it in Arizona. We have it in Florida, and we've had no climate controlled issues whatsoever. And we even do a white film, which is a transport film that, anyways, they will sit in the dealer lots with white film on, and that's held up great too. So yeah, it's the good part. I think we celebrated our 30th year. The films have gotten a lot better, and we've invested a lot of money in this nano fusion, specifically the film that what you would get to really, it's like anything. And I do want you to know too, whether it's maybe it's not important to you or it is, everything in our film is stateside. It's in America. We do not import anything. So whenever these talks about tariffs, we're not worried. We're not going to have any tariffs on our product. Every chemical, every part of the manufacturing process is done. Ohio, we have a manufacturer. We've got like 2, and then we bought a machine ourselves in Rochester. So and Bo and our owners, Bo Gringer, they invested in that. So the tariffs don't worry us, and everything is made in the United States. So you are welcome. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Enjoy your day. This weather is beautiful.